Hey, thanks for joining me. We got a weird one. We got a weird one. Now, I don't mean that disparagingly. Um, this has just got some characters that I've never heard of before. And my buddy here, Jeremy Thew, I think I'm saying your name right. Um, he's found my channel. He's joined my Discord, and great artist. And he asked me if he could send me a book that he drew. And he's like, the story's a little bit different, but he's proud of his work, and can we get it shown on the channel? I'm like, you know what? Absolutely, of course. There's some, I don't know, because I've never heard of these characters. I don't know what the kind of like intention behind it is beyond just being a parody, kind of. It's the daring, delightful Diaperman meets Milk. So that's Diaperman. See, he's in a diaper. And Milk, girl with huge jugs. I mean, I'm kind of sold when you have that right there. I'm all right. I'm in. Let's go. So if it's a parody, whatever the kind of idea is, I've never heard of these characters, and I think that there's been some other publications of these characters. I don't know what to make of them. Like, meaning, what I mean is, like, I don't know what the creator's intentions behind it is, and I'm not here to speak for them because I don't know enough. All I know is this book, and I was like, okay, this is going to be a weird one, but it was actually kind of more entertaining than I kind of thought that it would be. It's a lighthearted thing. It's got humor. It's like guys having fun. I don't know where a guy gets the idea to like put a character in a diaper, like infantilizing, you know the word is, like a baby. Whatever the point is, I don't know. And having that, and then having a character running around with big tits with jugs that shoot milk, maybe, right? I mean, her name's Milk. We'll see. Back cover, that looks awesome too. Great art, great coloring going on. That all looks really cool. All independent, all Canadian, 2 Gargoyle comics. Hell yeah. So, and it's a pretty thick book, It's like got like the square bound back, and it's a lot of pages. So I was like, all right, presentation is awesome. Good coloring, good, lettering and fonts and all that type of stuff. So, the daring, delightful Diaperman. So it says, holy crossover crisis. Diaperman and his subby sidekick, Sleepers, are in for the ride of their lives as they cross dimensions to meet for the very first time Milk, the champion of life goddess on an alternate Earth. The daily dangers of Megapolis are nothing compared to the variety of villains that Milwaukee offers. Rather than the spanker or the black whip, Diaperman and Sleepers face off against Fat Man, the Seaman, and the femme fatale Tina. They're not alone, though, as they meet Milk, a heroine who stands for truth, justice, and fresh dairy. The worlds hang in the balance as the terrific trio pit themselves against the very personification of destruction and chaos in the form of demons Argrax and Aramis. It's a thrill ride like you've never seen. So there is a QR code. I don't know if that works through phone, maybe. Check that out. Give them a look. Follow them on, they've got a website. There's a link tree. And so, first published in 2023 by Two Gargoyles Comics. Copyright Michael McAdam, who is the writer and does the lettering. Milk appears courtesy of Jeremy Thew. Art, colors, and cover. So, it's a crossover between 2 characters that are owned separately. And that's awesome. I like that idea. Like, you got your characters, I got my characters. Let's put them together and make a book and put it out there. So you got the creatures and the balance of the universe. Aramis, Lord of Air. Argrax, Lord of Earth. Aquarth? Sorry if I'm saying these names wrong. Lord of Water. But it basically, if I'm reading it correctly, the gods are, playing with the universe and time and dimension, and worlds collide, and an alternate universe opens one upon the other. So, way to get the characters together. I actually think this shot of the city going, the buildings up into the distance, and like this monstrous face kind of appearing out of smoke and clouds and lightning. It's actually pretty impressive. Like, it's kind of appropriately creepy and weird. For some reason, it kind of reminds me of like at the end of Ghostbusters, when everyone's looking up at the building, and Zool and what the hell is the name of the goddamn monster? I just watched, anyway, fucking, you know what I mean. Where they're looking up at the building and the smoke and the clouds, and the Ghostbusters got to go up and get it, and there's lightning and the booming voice. Gozer. Jesus Christ. It kind of reminds me of that, and I mean that as very positive. But you got your hero. So it's kind of like put out there as like, I say standard, and I don't want to imply that as a negative, but like the basic superhero tropes. We're a dynamic duo. There's some other characters and outfits, and, you know, we've got to, you know, there's danger happening, so we got to get out there and jump in their car. The Arrow-mobile for this guy, Arrow. He's flexing. He's got a bulging package. I mean, you know. So they got the car. They go into the city. There's magic everywhere. Look up in the clouds. Again, this monster face in the clouds, like vomiting lightning. I like the visual, and the coloring works really well. Yeah, Jeremy, you did the colors too. Like, that works really good, man. That works really well. So off they go. Lightning vomits down into the ground. A portal opens. So yeah, the Arrow guy, he shoots an arrow onto a pole to jump out of the car because the car goes careening into the portal. He's like, jump out, boys, but they can't. They're stuck. So the car goes through the portal. So now Diaperman and Sleeper are in another dimension. They're in another world. They're like, what the hell? What's going on? Well, let's stay here. And then out from behind them, a foot steps down into a pile of liquid. Says, splish, haven't you losers had enough? And there we go. Honestly, for demon agents, you two are pathetic. I will take you both down, or my name isn't Milk. I mean, it's goofy, but it's supposed to be, right? Again, I haven't spoken at length to these guys. I've only spoken to the artist. I have not spoken to the writer. Hopefully they will chime in the comments and talk about what these things mean, what their kind of intentions are. So again, I'm not speaking negatively on anything. It's like the superhero tropes, but done for humor and parody, but in a very kind of, there's a big sex element to it, or fetish element, maybe. I'm not saying it as a negative, but I'm just trying to make sure I understand it so I speak on it. I like this shot. I like her face. I like the coloring in the hair. I like the coloring in the background. Like, that looks pretty cool. And again, I'm sorry, you're always going to have my attention when you got that kind of stuff around. So she's like, dressing like a baby won't stop you from getting spanked. This is interesting. It's almost like the panels are almost like closing in on her, and she's like literally gripping the side of the panels to keep it forced open, which is an interesting idea. She's like, and you, putting on a pair of jammies and a mask doesn't mean I don't recognize you, seaman. Like, what's she on about? I don't know. I've never been in the Navy. Get it? I don't know what your game is, but I'm stopping you here now. So obviously she's never seen these guys, but she's mistaken them for something else. She's supposed to be the hero. She thinks that they're villains, and so they've got to fight. Maybe. Conceivably, right? They're like, we don't even know who you are. And she's like, I just said, let me help you remember. So is her titties fire milk? Energy blast? I don't know. All I know is I want to be drenched in it, because why not? They're like, what, Glub? Like, wholly homogenized. She shoots milk from her lady pillows. Astute observation, Sleepers, but we can't find out what happened to us while under the deluge of dairy, so we need to take her down. Like, yeah, but how? Like, rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. You got it. I roll forward like a rock. I glide like a paper, and we catch her in our scissors. So they do a team move, rolling under her, below and above, kind of catching her from different directions. Gets behind her, squeezes them big old jumblies. Hell yeah. I'll tackle her. Get it. He's like, okay, milkmaid, talk. and make it quick because this is giving me funny feelings. Me too, sir. So she grabs him, tosses him over, throws him into a car, and I guess the airbags go off. And he's like, oh, soft lady pillows. Like, he's like, oh, he's comfortable. He's going to go to sleep. So Diaperman, he's like, sleepers need a little support here, need a little help. He's like, oh, so supportive. So again, it's all a sense of humor and fun. The Diaperman's, why are you attacking us? She's like, don't play innocent. Obviously, Argrax found himself some new minions, weirder ones than usual, and you're here to help him break through the barrier to Earth. So the guy who fell asleep in the car, he's like, Barry, is that what we got sucked through? Diaperman's like, vortex. And please say pulled through. Don't say sucked through. She's like, wait, you got pulled through the barrier? Yes. She's like, well, shoot, you must be from another dimension. Well, apparently. Well, and I like how Sleeper's like, man, that was some quick exposition. So after a quick fight, they realize that, she realizes they're not bad guys. Maybe she made a mistake. She's like, well, that means you're not with them. So now we got some bad guys. So girls, she says, well, isn't this nice? Milk got herself some milk babies. Like, well, who is this now? She says, I'm Tina. And yes, let's do our roll call since you're about to be schooled. Seaman, Fat Man, introduce yourself. So Fat Man's blubber literally like flies out like kind of like Clayface, I guess, would be a close analogy, but it's just his fat, disgusting folds. And so Sleeper's like, what holy anime hentai? And so the guy's just like engulfing him in fat folds. It's kind of gross and it's like it's supposed to be. I'm like, all right, that's appropriately weird and gross. And so, speaking of, I'm not going to say gross, but weird. So Diaperman, he's like, sleepers. And so Seaman, guess what his powers are? He's like, never mind him, Kami. You got some grade A USA trouble coming your way. Diaperman's like, Kami, I'm not a... Why are you unzipping your pants? And so Seaman says, taste freedom, Kami punk. And you can't see it, but you get the point. He's jerking off and firing a giant power load all over Diaperman, who takes the load right to the chest, does a flip over it upside down, and he's got dripping jizz from his chest. She's like, are you okay? You're not grossed out? He's like, I'm already drenched in milk. Gloopy and sticky seems par for the course. I mean, no, I'd rather be covered in titty milk than man jizz, if I'm being honest with you. She says, you're a weird one, diaper butt. Yeah. He says, hey, I'm not shooting stuff from my titties here. Oh, meanwhile, Seaman's like, milk, you commie witch, you're going down. She's like, not on you, buddy. I get it, you're going down, not on you. Nice. Taste the power of the life goddess, crazy man. He says, eat high protein power, Rusky. Wow. So she fires her titties, he fires his jizz, the fluids intermix, and the guy in the diaper goes running by. Like, these are phrases I never thought I'd ever be saying about a comic I'd be reviewing. But I love that they're just leaning right into it. Like, we're fucking having a guy who fires his big frothy load all over people, and that's his power, and she shoots her titties off. And that's just how it is. We're just going with it. And you know what? Having the balls to just run with it, I respect it. So the girl's like, I don't know who you are or where you come from, but this isn't a game for children. She's got some kind of blades, weapons, knives she throws at him. And so he gets his little pacifier ring thing and deflects all the blades. And so, he's got some skill. Milk, we have to regroup. She's over there still exchanging gross fluids. Sleeper's still engulfed in the fat folds of the gross fat guy. She's like, yeah, I'm busy. So Diaperman flings, the pin. Oh, yeah. He's got this giant, fastener pin on his chest. Like something you kind of fasten up old school diapers with. He can take it off like a weapon and bounces it off the guy's head. Hey, that gets him. Meanwhile, girl with knives comes up behind him and stabs him in the arm. Okay. She says, you cannot stop them. They are inevitable. They are almost here. Milk fires her titty, splooshing all over the girl. They're like, hey, thanks, Milk. Now we just have to go get Sleepers out of the fat folds of the guy. And they're like, well, why isn't Sleeper fighting? He's like literally sucking his own thumb in the fat folds. They're like, why isn't he fighting? She's like, fat man has pheromones. They hypnotize you to whatever attracts you the most. And the guy's like, smells like fresh baked cookies. Gross. So Diaperman in his little pacifier ring shoots some kind of energy blast into his face, which makes him pass out, and they pull Sleeper out of his fat folds and they run off. Again, these are phrases I never thought I'd say about a comic book. So they're back to Milk Lady's apartment. They're like, yeah, nice place. She's like, it's a shithole. And she says, you two are really polite, aren't you? You must be Canadian. So Diaperman's like, what's going on here? What was that torrid trio? So then she gives some information, kind of an exposition dump. They're earthly agents. They're this. They're here to break through barriers from this realm into that one. Maybe that's how we got here. Maybe we came through a hole from this world to ours, to this one. And they're like, please say portal. Don't say came through a hole. I actually laughed at those jokes. And she just kind of keeps going with the exposition, kind of explaining there's demons, there's monsters. If we work together, maybe we can, solve the problem, get everyone back to where they're supposed to be. Ms. Milk is a very nice lady. I like her. I liked it right in the middle of the comic right here. There's, I guess, an alternate cover. I think it's, now that I look at this, it's supposed to be, I think, like an homage to the issue of X-Men where the Phoenix rises out of the water. The X-Men are in the water, and that's what that's supposed to be, I believe. I like it. And then they do like an old school, like I look at this and it reminds me of Wizard Magazine when they do a casting call for the characters. So they got all the characters that we've seen in the book, and who would they cast? Juliana Hough as Milk, Cody Kearsley, I have no idea who that is, Alan Richardson as Seaman and Sleeper, Vin Diesel as the Tattooed Man, also voicing, he could voice the demon god, Adelaide Kane, don't know who that girl is, but she's hot. I like the casting call. That's fun. You don't see that much. God, it makes me kind of want to do it in my own comic. Anyway, back with the team. After those kind of fun little ads in the middle of the book. They keep working on like, well, what should we do? How are we going to solve our problems? Hot girls just sitting with their giant jugs out. I don't know if these guys are interested in girls, so, maybe they're easily, like, they're not as distracted as, like, my dumbass would be. But she's like, hey, there are because he's got the wound in his arm from when he got stabbed. She's like, there's bandages in the background. You two need a shower. So they shower up, and then Milk Girl's doing some magic shit, some seance-y stuff. I like it. And so they're like, well, where do we need to go? She got a vision where the ritual is taking place, one of the trashiest, most unholy places, the carnival grounds of South City. So I like evil, spooky, abandoned carnival. It's like a Scooby-Doo thing. They're like, all right. She's like, yeah, deserted fairgrounds are so creepy. So there hasn't been a lot of happiness here in a long time because Sleeper, he's like, where's all the people? Where's the candied apples? Where's all the happy? Yeah, their happy hasn't been here in a long time. But what do we see? I like the coloring in this with the coloring highlights on their faces. That comes out really well. I like that. Good job on that. But under the big top, they sneak in, and here's some more bad guys. Here's some more, villains to fight. Bunch of weird creatures. Eat hot fist, lactose lady. And she says, I know a lot of ladies with beards, only they call them husbands. Get it? And this guy, he's got a bunch of tattoo art, and he can make them dance. There's a dancing mermaid on his chest, so it kind of entrances him. I don't know who this little guy's supposed to be. Is this him there? Anyway, they're fighting these new characters. So, there's action, there's fighting. Yeah, I like this. The bad guy, he's like, are you good with swords? And the hero, Diaperman, he says, every hero is inexplicably proficient with swords in case there needs to be a dramatic sword fight. And ain't that the truth? Like, for sure. Like, suddenly anyone knows how to handle a sword. I wish I could. I should take some sword fighting lessons. But, yeah, fight keeps going on. Milk is there doing her thing. Bad guy coming in from behind with a giant, like, steel-weighted metal ball to bash her on the skull, but she just backhands him, knocks him out. Bam. And then, so this girl, she's like, you have bested my fearsome freaks, but how will you fare against my balloonacy? Like lunacy, but it's balloonacy. So balloons come crashing down everywhere. They're not just balloons, but clowns. So there's a bunch of evil clowns. Are they manifesting out of the balloons? That is creepy. And so Sleeper, he's like, sorry, I'm terrified of clowns. It's like my 5th birthday all over again. Well, they're like, all right, well, pull it together. These clowns are going down. And so they just, big shot of them just kicking the shit out of some clowns. But then there's a rumbling on the ground. Oh shit, it's an earthquake. A lightning bolt blasts down. And that creepy evil face is suddenly at the opening of the circus tent. Let's see. So the portals are opening. We've got to close the portals before one of them wins. There's two of them fighting. So he's like, maybe if I can calm them down, but it's not powerful enough. It's like, yeah, he's trying to use his little pacifier ring to calm people down, but it's not working. They're trying to calm down the demon monsters. Like, how do we fight the gods? But they're like, this girl, Tina, she's keeping the portal open. So they have to concentrate on this girl. So they try to knock her out. It doesn't work. Gosh, I like this shot of the girl. That looks good. To keep, like Diaperman, get her. You got to punch her. He's like, I can't hit her. Mine is a way of peace. Violence must only be used in self-defense. But bam, Milk isn't having it. She socks the girl. She's not going to sit there and hear that bullshit. So the two demon gods that are trying to rip through the portal, trying to force their way into this dimension, the portal's shrinking. So they're like, well, what do we do? Together, they take each other's hands, hand in hand, and they do a double hand punch titty blast thing into the demon monsters and close the portal. And they're like, yay, we did it. Awesome. And the bad guys take off. And because the portal's closed, the heroes, Diaperman and Sleeper, they start fading out of the dimension. With the portal closed, they're being pulled back into their own dimension. So the crossover is over. Milk is left alone. And as they fade, they're like, well, what if you need our help again? She says, don't worry. Goddess willing, we'll see each other again. So the heroes are back in their own world, and they have to get home, and they're not sure if either one of them knows how to drive the arrow car, and they take off into the distance. And it says, Tantrum on Alternate Earths was brought to you by, it lists the same creative crew down here that they had on the first page. So, yeah, Michael McAdam, writer. Again, strange book. It's not something I would normally instinctively pick up on my own. Like, I appreciate the humor. It's a little out of my wheelhouse in terms of stuff that I find I don't know. It's just, it's not something that I would normally get, but I read it and I'm like, I feel like these guys are really putting everything into it. Like Jeremy put in everything he had into the art. The line work, the coloring, the storytelling was all pretty clear. Like, I give an artist high marks. Even if their artwork isn't the best, I'm not saying that here. Like, the artwork is pretty dang good. But even if the artist is like lacking in terms of like rendering skills and perfect anatomy and that type of stuff, but if the storytelling is clear and you know what's going on, you're already leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of other people who just draw big dynamic imagery, but you can't follow the story. So Jeremy, storytelling, great. Drawings are fun. Could follow it all. You get the point everywhere, and it works. And there's some backup stories, epilogue, kind of done in an old school comic strip style there. And it's like those Hostess fruit pie ads in old school comics, but now they have Mostest fruit pies, so tasty they'll spank your taste buds. And then it's like almost like a movie poster here in the back. So fun stuff, it's strange, it's weird, but it's fun. And I did enjoy it. Again, guys running around in diapers and shit. I mean, it's not normally my thing. I don't know what to say. But I like seeing a variety of work. And when you can tell that the people put all their effort into it, I feel like I have to repeat it's almost like a speech I give every time I look at one of these books. But a lot of artists out there talk about the stuff that they're going to do, and they never make it. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you've heard me repeat that several times. The fact that you create a thing and you make it, in the case of these guys, apparently different characters, they decide to team them up and cross over and have some fun and make a comic, and it's out there and it's available and you can read the work. Like, all due respect to these guys for making the thing, and it looks like they were having a great time. Like, it's all about the humor and the fun combined with awesome action and big tits. Like, that right there is like the catchphrase to get me interested. And you tell me a guy is wearing a diaper, I might be like, all right, well, we'll give it a shot and we'll see how it goes. But fun stuff. So, Jeremy, thank you for sending this to me. I really appreciate it. You guys made something that's really fun. You put in a lot of effort, and you guys should be proud. Like, you made it. It's there. We can read it. It's not just an idea floating in your head, or it's not a couple of unfinished pages on your artboard that you swear you're going to get to eventually. Like, you made the book, and that says a lot about you guys as creatives, and you all should hold your heads high and be proud to make a thing. So, the Daring Delightful Diaperman meets milk. That's all I've got for this one. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time.